Welcome to How to Handle Cravings While Trying to Lose Fat. I'm so excited to be here with you guys again today. I have such good information that I know is going to be so beneficial to helping you lose that fat. So yesterday when I came on, I debunked the common diet myth that the best way to lose fat is to eat less and exercise more. And then we talked about the two things you do need to lose fat, and that is to have balanced hormones and be in a caloric deficit. But today we're going to talk all about cravings and how to understand the signals that your body is sending to you so you know when things are working or when your metabolism is starting to push back and fight against you and things are starting to derail and you end up sabotaging yourself. So I talked about the vicious cycle that I got caught into yesterday and about how Monday I was all gung-ho and committed to exercising really hard and eating only 1,200 calories a day. But by Thursday, Friday, I'd completely derailed, cravings out of control. My mood wasn't that great anymore. I was hangry, not as patient with my kids, binge all weekend. Then Sunday comes along and it's all about the guilt and the shame and beating myself up because I wasn't strong enough. I didn't have enough willpower. I just wasn't motivated enough during the week. And then Monday comes along and I'm recommitted and I'm going to work even harder this week and just keep going in this vicious cycle. And thank you so much for the messages I got yesterday. I know so many of you experienced something very similar and you know what it feels like and you know the toll it takes, not just physically, but mentally as well. And I love that we get and we understand each other because this is a rough journey. And again, the reason I'm so passionate about teaching these concepts is because I want to spare you the pain and the frustration of having to go through this yourself and being so frustrated when you feel like you're doing everything right and it's not working. So we're gonna get right into it and talk about what signals your body sends to you to let you know when things are working and when they're not. Because if I had known what those signals were, I could have spared myself so much pain and frustration. Okay, we're gonna get right into it. I want you to remember the acronym CHEMS, okay? Spelled CHEMS, CHEMS. And this stands for cravings, hunger, energy, mood, and sleep, okay? That's it, CHEMS. So cravings, hunger, energy, mood, and sleep. Those are the signals that your metabolism, that your body is sending to you to let you know when things are either going awesome, keep going, or when, oh my gosh, we're out of control, this is not working, things are out of whack. And I want you to remember this saying, okay? Treasure your CHEMS. I know it's super cheesy, but it's gonna help you remember it. So anytime you start to switch up how you're eating or how you're exercising, that's what you wanna pay attention to. You wanna pay attention to your CHEMS, okay? Your cravings, your hunger, your energy, your mood, and your sleep, because that is how your body's gonna communicate and let you know what is working and what is not working. So think about yesterday too. I talked about how you have to become a detective. You have to become an investigator and start figuring out what is working and what is not. So if you start to change your eating habits and all of a sudden you're feeling hungry and you're having cravings, we need to figure out and we need to have a game plan of what to do. So the first thing we want to do when it comes to your diet is you want to focus on eating lean protein, fiber, think veggies, and water. That is your focus every single meal and throughout the day, okay? Protein, lean protein, fiber, think from veggies, and drinking a lot of water throughout the day. And honestly, the easiest way to get this in to your days is think protein smoothies, scrambles, like egg scrambles with vegetables in them, soups, and stir fries. Those are all really good ways to help fuel your body, get in that protein, get in those vegetables, that fiber, and fill you up so you feel satisfied without actually consuming a ton of calories. Because nobody wants to feel hungry, right? We all want to feel full, we want to feel satisfied. So that's what you want to focus on, is finding those foods that help you feel full and satisfied without actually consuming tons of calories. And we also want to focus on trigger foods and buffer foods. So trigger foods are foods that create cravings for you. You eat this and then you are craving, sugar or fat or whatever it is the rest of the day. So for example, I discovered as a young mom pretty quickly that I could not buy Lucky Charms for my kids because for whatever reason, I think Lucky Charms are so delicious and I cannot resist them. So if I buy a box of Lucky Charms, I have no self-control and I will eat the entire box in one day. So I just know like Lucky Charms cannot come into my house. I cannot buy them. That's the trigger food for me. And breakfast, I think, is a really good example of a place to start to figure out what are some good trigger foods and buffer foods. Because think about it. When you eat a donut for breakfast, how do you feel the rest of the day? Does it set you up so that you're craving, fat and sugar and carbs the rest of the day? Okay, take a second and I want you to think, do you already know some trigger foods? Do you already have some ideas of foods that set you off? And then think vice versa. When you eat, say, like eggs for breakfast, like scrambled eggs, and you put in like rice vegetables and spinach and kale, and you got eggs, and maybe you add in some egg whites, and how does that make you feel? Does that help you feel satisfied and full all the way until lunch? That would be like a good buffer food. So it takes some trial and error, but you want to figure out like what are those foods that set you up for success and kind of help keep those cravings at bay. And I do want to make a comment here about cravings we get from hormones, ladies, from our cycle, because these are a little bit different, but same thing, like you have to become a detective and you have to recognize that pattern and know when those are going to come and then have a game plan on how you're going to combat them. So first of all, make sure you are getting enough sleep around that time of the month when you have those cravings. And then think about activities you can do to help kind of indulge yourself that have nothing to do with food. Like going on a walk, getting a massage, show yourself some self-love, curl up and read a good book, take a nice Epsom salt bath to kind of help you relax. And then know what those buffer foods are so you can have those on hand. So when you do get those cravings, you already know what to eat and you don't even have to think about it. For example, a really good buffer food for me is plain, fat-free Greek yogurt mixed with frozen berries, of course, topped with a little bit of whipping cream because I love whipping cream. And to me, this is a delicious treat that I can make. It's packed with protein, it's packed with fiber, and it fills me up with not that many calories and totally satisfies my sweet tooth. So know what those are for you and be prepared with those. Okay, to recap, your CHEMS, treasure your CHEMS, right? Your cravings, hunger, energy, mood, and sleep. Those are the signals your body is sending to you to let you know when things are working and when they're not. Continue to investigate, right? Be a detective. Know what your trigger foods are so you can avoid them, and then know what buffer foods are that help fill you up and feel satisfied without triggering those cravings. Again, think smoothies, soups, stir fries, and scrambles, all those things that help fill you up with not very many calories. And then if you have cravings that go along with your cycle, be prepared, have a plan, so when those come, you got this and you are in control. If this seems overwhelming to you, don't worry. I have a PDF I want to give you that explains all the CHEMS and actually gives you step-by-step instructions on exactly what to do when things are out of whack. So when that happens to you, you have a step-by-step game plan so you know exactly what to do to get everything back in check. Tomorrow, I'm going to go live, same time, same place. We're going to talk about 3 things you can do to boost your metabolism that have nothing to do with exercise. So come back tomorrow. We're going to have more fun learning how to master your metabolism so you can be successful long-term with your goals. All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a healthy and happy day.